Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into a book that honestly it's been rattling minds for decades, and it feels, well, more relevant than ever right now. George Orwell's 1984.
It really does. Published way back in 1949.
That's right, 1949. And it just laid out this truly chilling vision of a dystopian future, a society absolutely dominated by surveillance, censorship, and, total totalitarian control.
It is unsettling, isn't it? How much of it still resonates today, despite being written, over 70 years ago now? It's a classic for a reason, definitely, but maybe not a comforting one.
No, not comforting at all. And that's exactly why we need to do this deep dive, right? To really unpack those warnings, the ones that feel so timeless, and see what nuggets of insight it holds for us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you want to start? The world itself.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this world Orwell built. Oceania. What's the sort of core setup?
Well, fundamentally, it's this totalitarian state. It's ruled by this entity known only as the Party, and of course, its mysterious, almost mythical leader, Big Brother.
Right, Big Brother's watching you, that whole thing.
Exactly. But the really insidious part, for me, is how the Party controls not just what people do, but what they think.
Yeah. And our way into that is through the main character, Winston Smith. He works at the Ministry of Truth, which sounds positive, but...
But it's the opposite. His job is literally rewriting history, altering records to match whatever the party line is today.
Can you imagine waking up every day knowing objective truth is just malleable, whatever they say it is?
It's a world where even memory isn't safe. It's weaponized. And Winston, he secretly hates the party. He dreams of rebellion, even in small ways.
Which leads him to Julia.
Right. He starts this forbidden relationship with Julia, another party member, and together they try to carve out these tiny, really dangerous moments of personal freedom, just trying to feel human.
And you just know, reading it, that this fragile little rebellion, it's on a collision course. It's heading straight for the full force of the party's control. It's this inevitable and pretty devastating confrontation.
Yeah, with power, fear, manipulation, all of it. It really forces you to look at some uncomfortable stuff about, well, human nature and control.
And speaking of the people involved, the characters themselves are so iconic.
Oh, definitely. They're more than just characters in a story, aren't they?
Yeah.
They feel symbolic. Orwell created these really memorable figures who almost embody the ideas and warnings of the book itself.
Absolutely. Let's start with Winston Smith. He's our protagonist, right? This guy trapped in a system basically designed to crush any independent thought. He really represents that fundamental human desire for truth, for freedom, individuality.
Yeah, he's that little voice inside that questions things, that wants something more than just conformity, the part that whispers no.
And then there's Julia, his lover. Her rebellion feels different, though.
It is fascinatingly different. Hers is much more personal, less overtly political, maybe. It's focused on finding pleasure, on individual defiance within the system, rather than, some grand plan to overthrow it. She wants to live despite the party.
That's a great way to put it. And then O'Brien?
Ooh, O'Brien. He's this high-ranking party member. He seems understanding at first, but he's terrifying. He manipulates Winston so expertly. He really embodies the party's cunning, its psychological control, its ruthlessness, the ultimate betrayer, maybe, and the ultimate interrogator.
Definitely chilling and towering over all of them, even though we never actually see him.
Big Brother.
Yeah, the face on the posters, the name invoked constantly.
He's the omnipresent face of authority. Pure symbol, surveillance, control, propaganda. He represents all of it.
It's amazing how these archetypes still resonate, isn't it? You see echoes.
You do. In figures, in systems, throughout history, and even today, they tap into something fundamental about power and resistance.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for me. The core themes. The pillars of this dystopia that make 1984 just stick with you.
Yeah, let's get into those.
First up, totalitarianism and surveillance. It's unavoidable in the book. The party watches everyone through those telescreens you mentioned and the thought police everywhere. It's this stark, terrifying picture of what happens when power becomes absolute, unchecked.
And connecting that to the bigger picture. It's about how control can just seep into everything. Not just public life, but private life. Your inner thoughts, even. The party doesn't just want obedience, it demands your mind, your consciousness.
It makes you think about modern surveillance, doesn't it? Maybe not telescreens on the wall, but
maybe in our pockets. Or the algorithm shaping what we see. The principle is there.
Right. Which ties into the next big theme, truth and reality. The party controls facts, history, even language itself. Winston's whole struggle is trying to hold on to some kind of objective truth.
And his struggle shows just how fragile truth can become when it's deliberately manipulated, how reality itself can be, well, bent or just broken.
Yeah. Who gets to define reality? That's the scary question.
Exactly. And what happens when that definition keeps shifting to suit whoever's in power? It highlights this constant need to, actively fight for objective truth, not just facts, but the whole idea of verifiable reality.
Then there's that classic conflict. The individual versus the collective.
Central to the whole novel.
Winston's desire for personal freedom, for just being himself, crashing right up against the party's demand for total obedience. Conformity above all else.
Every scrap of individuality is seen as a threat. It has to be stamped out.
And finally, something that feels incredibly relevant right now. Language and thought. Orwell's idea of newspeak.
Ah, newspeak, yes. This language deliberately designed to limit thought. By shrinking vocabulary, by getting rid of words for concepts like freedom or rebellion, the aim is to make rebellious thoughts literally unthinkable.
If you don't have the words for it, can you even form the concept?
That's the terrifying implication. It shows how language shapes our reality, how it can restrict our perception, even our ability to resist.
So, okay, pulling this all together, what does this mean for us, for you, listening now? Why does this book, written over 70 years ago, still hit so hard?
Well, it just does, doesn't it? It feels less like some far-off sci-fi dystopia sometimes and more like a, warning mirror.
Yeah. I mean, think about the issues today. Government surveillance.
Definitely. The spread of misinformation, fake news.
This constant battle over what's actually true. It's all there in Orwell.
It is. Now, some might argue the methods have changed, Maybe fewer physical telescreens, maybe more invisible algorithms doing the sorting and shaping.
True.
But those core principles, the way truth can be sort of re-engineered in real time, the way power seeks to control the narrative, that feels frighteningly current.
So Orwell's novel, it really isn't just a story, is it?
No, not at all. It's a stark warning. It's a deep reflection on power, control, and, well, human society itself.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive into 1984, what are the main takeaways? For me, it's this powerful reminder that freedom, truth, individuality, these things are incredibly precious.
Absolutely fragile, even.
And we have to stay vigilant, right? We have to actively protect them. Orwell's writing is, yeah, it's chilling, but it's also really enlightening. It pushes you to question things.
It really does.
So if you haven't read 1984, I mean, you really should consider picking up a copy. And if you have read it, maybe it's time for a revisit. I find every time I read it, something new clicks.
That's very true. New layers reveal themselves depending on what's happening in the world or in your own life.
Exactly. So maybe we leave you with this thought, something Orwell touches on near the end.
Ideas.
Yeah, that even in the face of overwhelming power and fear, ideas can still hold immense power. Perhaps ideas are ultimately more powerful than fear. Something to think about.